In the biblical account, David's census was a counting of the Israelites, specifically their fighting men, ordered by King David. This census, which was to be taken from Beersheba to Dan, angered God and resulted in a plague upon Israel, leading to the death of 70,000 people. The count revealed 1,100,000 fighting men, with 470,000 in Judah, but Job, David's commander, did not include the Levites and Benjamin in the count. In the later years of his reign, King David, the shepherd warrior anointed by God to rule Israel, made a decision that would bring turmoil to his people. Though he had led with a heart after God and achieved military triumphs, there came a moment when David faltered, not in battle, but in judgment. The story begins with a puzzling statement. The anger of the Lord burned against Israel, and he incited David against them, saying, "Go and take a census of Israel and Judah." Samuel 24:1. In 1 Chronicles 21 verse 1, however, the account states, Satan rose up against Israel and incited David to take a census of Israel. These two verses offer different theological perspectives, either that God allowed David to be tested, or that the adversary, Satan, tempted David. Either way, David ordered Job, his military commander, to go through all the tribes of Israel and number the fighting men. Job, a hardened warrior but wise in his own way, protested. "Why does my lord the king want to do this? May the Lord multiply the troops 100 times over, but why should you bring guilt on Israel?" Chronicles 21:3. But David insisted. The command was carried out reluctantly, and after nearly 10 months, Job returned with the count, over 1.3 million capable warriors across Israel and Judah. As soon as the census was completed, David's heart was stricken with guilt. He realized he had trusted in numbers and human strength, rather than in God, who had always delivered Israel. He prayed, "I have sinned greatly in what I have done. O Lord, please take away the guilt of your servant. I have done a very foolish thing." 2 Samuel 24 verse 10. God sent the prophet Gad to deliver a divine message. David was to choose one of 3 punishments. 3 years of famine. 3 months of fleeing from enemies. 3 days of a deadly plague throughout the land. David, crushed by remorse, chose to fall into the hands of God. Let us fall into the hands of the Lord, for his mercy is great, but do not let me fall into human hands. Samuel 24:14. A devastating plague swept across Israel. 70,000 men died. As the angel of the Lord stretched his hand over Jerusalem to destroy it, God relented. He said, "It is enough. Withdraw your hand." Samuel 24:16. David saw the angel of the Lord standing between heaven and earth, sword drawn, poised over Jerusalem. He fell on his face and cried out, "I am the one who has sinned and done wrong. These are but sheep, what have they done? Let your hand fall on me and my family." The threshing floor of Araunah. God, through Gad, instructed David to build an altar on the threshing floor of Araunah the Jebusite. David went to Araunah and offered to buy the land. Araunah, seeing the king, offered to give it freely. But David insisted. "No, I insist on paying the full price. I will not offer to the Lord my God burnt offerings that cost me nothing." Chronicles 21:24. David built an altar and offered burnt offerings and peace offerings. The Lord answered with fire from heaven, consuming the sacrifice. The plague ceased. The location where David built the altar, Mount Moriah, would later become the site of Solomon's temple, the most sacred place in ancient Israelite worship. This story is not merely about a census. It is about pride and humility, judgment and mercy, and the heart of a man who, even in sin, turned toward God in repentance. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe to my channel.